Greetings from Nice, France. This is my final exam video for the 2024 Italy-Austria study abroad program, and I just want to start off the video by saying thank you to all the professors that made this trip possible. It really was a life-changing experience. To get into the exam, the first question is the difference in art and non-art. Personally, I believe that art is subjective. Because of perspective. I think your perception on things varies from person to person. So one individual may think that what they're looking at is art, and another individual may think otherwise. For example, I think it is very common to see today where modern and contemporary art is very well known. A blank white canvas can be considered art to one person and not non-art to another person. So I really do think it is important to take into consideration other people's perspective on art and what art means to them. And number two, how is seeing art in person different in a book and in person? I really love this question because even after the program ended, I've been solo traveling and I went to museums pretty much in every location that I've traveled to, and I love going to art museums personally. Being able to see art in person is really a once in a lifetime, well, it's not really once in a lifetime, but it is a very special experience. I think like seeing a piece of art in person, you could see the brush strokes, you could see the texture on the canvas, you could see the depth in color, and looking at it from different angles is very it kind of gets your mind turning. And so I think that seeing it in person is a different experience than looking at it in a book. On a book, it's like a printed paper, there's gloss over it, it's not the same. And moving on to the next question, what do you think about people risking their lives for some of the art I witnessed? I think we briefly talked about this on the program and how some of the art pieces have been taken in a very controversial way, and I think it is a very special thing to think about because, you know, people have so much love for art and so much love for the concept of art that they are willing to risk their lives for it. There's so much controversy going around different pieces of artifacts and artwork being stolen and taken in a not nice way, and I think I am so grateful that I was able to see some of the artwork in person, and I think it is important to think back about the history and how some of these have been taken in. And I hope that some of the controversy could settle down a little bit and everything could be settled, all the fight could be settled down so everyone could be in a happy place. Moving on, explain the moments you experienced wonder. I had to kind of take a second to really think about my answer for this, but one immediate answer that came into mind was the Trevi Fountain. So while on the first night that we went to Rome, the first day we arrived in Rome, my group and I, well, a few of the people in my group, we ended up wandering around at nighttime and we stumbled upon the Trevi Fountain, and it was a very surreal experience. It was not like anything that I've seen before. Having some prior travel experience, the Trevi Fountain was not like anything I've experienced before. There was not too many people at that time, so we really got to take in the extravagance of the Trevi Fountain. It really was so grand. Seeing it at night was a very different experience from seeing it in the morning, but when we first had this awe-striking moment of wow, the Trevi Fountain, it was a very great experience, and it really did make me think about how things were made and how art comes to be, because it was such a big piece of art, I would like to say. And you know, who came up with the questions came up, like who came up with this design, like who built it, like what was going on in the designer's head when they were coming up with this structure. Like it really was a life-changing moment almost. It really made me think back to a lot of deeper questions. And the last question is, how do you think this trip will experience and your experience will affect the future self, and why? This really was a life-changing experience, and during our communications group presentation, someone did mention that it was a 6% of U.S. students go abroad. So the small group, 35 of us, is not a small group, but the small group of people that did go on this trip are very special people. We are in this very small 6% of people that are fortunate enough to go study abroad, and it really was a life-changing experience. We experienced so much, just so much. You know, we were tired, we were exhausted, we were happy, and you know, we were in awe, and we really did make some great memories. And for me, what was the most